Welcome to the Borth podcast, where knowledge unlocks new paths and simple steps today create powerful changes tomorrow. Let's get to it.
Hello, welcome back to the Borth podcast. We're going to continue a series where I'm going to ask this question. Have you ever felt like you always miss out on the deals that everybody else is getting? So let me rephrase that. Do you always feel that somebody else is making, is taking advantage of opportunities when you can't? What I mean by that is, did you take advantage of all the downturns in the market that's ever happened since you've been in the investing world? Or have you been able to take advantage of any other opportunities? Or do you know how? Do you know, does everybody else have access to a secret playbook that you don't have? Well, let me answer that really quickly today, because this is a conversation about liquidity. It's a conversation about how do I access dollars to take advantage of opportunities. Opportunities are always going to show up. And again, the difference between an opportunity and chaos in your life is typically one thing. And that one thing is liquidity. What I mean by liquidity, I did my previous podcast. I kind of like chastised myself because I call it liquidity. Do you have access to cash to take advantage of opportunities? Or do you have a structure so you know that you can do it without jeopardizing your family? What I find and what I'm seeing and what I'm like, my experience is telling me that some people do. A small subset of people do, but most people have anxiety around, do I have enough cash to live on if all the world goes crazy? That's the one thing we can address. And I talked about that. It's like, I call it the, have you ever been fired conversation. That happened to me one time in my career, in my life. And the feeling that you have is a sense of panic. So again, we want to address that one first. But the next part of the equation is, how come everybody else is, finding deals? How come everybody else is able to take advantage of opportunities when I don't see it? Part of it is we just don't know. We have conversations about savings. You're putting money away. You're getting ready for opportunities. But we don't have a thoughtful process about how that works. Well, I'm going to tell you right now that we have the solution. We have a framework that we can help you walk through that so you can be on the side of, I know I have enough money first to take care of myself and my family. Secondly, now I know I have a criteria that says I'm going to go out and I'm going to take advantage of opportunity when they appear, and they appear all the time, by the way. But we have a thoughtful process and a thoughtful framework that allows us to do that. And that's going to be the real secret. Let me just tell you a really quick story. A client story that we had a gentleman who was saving a ton of money into his policies. Loved it, loved all this conversation, but he got to the point where he was feeling, I call it financial pressure. Again, that's the ability, he didn't have the ability to sleep at night because he was missing some opportunities. This is a while back when crypto was very volatile. And he said, I should be buying here, but I don't know if I should. And he had a lot of unknown questions a lot of questions and an unanswered question on top of that. And so he had a lot of uncertainty. So we said, great, let's have a conversation about this. So he said, how many days of cash do you need to have a security in your family, knowing that no matter what happens, they're good for at least a year. And again, he picked that year. I said, how much cash would you need? We looked at how much cash he had. He had a lot of cash. He'd done a good job of saving. He was very disciplined in savings, and he put a lot of money in his policies. But then his question was, what next? What do I do next? Okay, well, let's talk about it. So we said, how many days of liquidity do you need? How many days of cash do you need? Considering how much you're spending on a daily basis, we call that burn rate. We've done a couple of podcasts on that. And we can, again, if you want those calculations, you want those sheets, email me, connect with me in the links below, and we'll get you those sheets, and we'll get you that content so you can start to see this in your own world. But he says, okay, I need a year's worth of liquidity based on my burn rate. And we said, okay, that's the number. He says, I have twice as much as I really need. I said, so why aren't you spending that? Why aren't you investing that the way you want to invest it? He goes, I didn't know what I needed, at least to take care of my family. So that was the first step. Then he says, okay, now I have a framework. It's like, so really what this does, it gives me a permission slip to spend or invest the rest of these dollars. I said, absolutely. I said, apply the banking principles. You apply it, you buy real estate, you buy crypto, whatever it is. That sense of panic or that sense of financial pressure is different than most people experience. Most people experience that sense of financial pressure because they don't have enough saved. This guy was doing a tremendous job, but he just didn't know when enough was enough. And so we put it in context and made him feel much better. And he's just exploded his ability to go out and think through rationally what a good investment looks like. We put some criteria around it, like how much noise do you want in this? How much time do you want to be spending? We helped him build a framework around how do I think about, should I be doing real estate? Again, I don't tell anybody what they should be investing in. It's like, let's help you build a framework. This is the empowerment that gives you to say, this fits into what I want to do. So it's not Wade's values thrust upon you. It is more helping you build a framework so you can understand where your values fit into that conversation. So again, if you're looking for a sense of certainty of, do I have enough cash to take care of my family? And anything above that, do I have a permission slip to spend that? It gives me some frameworks to think, now I can do maybe some hard money loans. Maybe I can go buy some crypto, or I can buy some real estate. Whatever it is, unless you know. His problem was that he was like, I was afraid to invest in crypto. I say buy, but I was afraid to invest in crypto. I was afraid to invest in real estate because I didn't know. And once he knew, then it was like game on. He's like, I got it. This gives me my life jacket, my family's life jacket. They put that on. They're in the boat. They got the family life jacket. Now they can take off and go fishing. So anyhow, if you're looking for a framework, if you're looking for that framework, this is something that, that I do and really I help my team do. And we can support you in helping you build that framework for you and bring some certainty to what you're looking for. And that certainty of, I got the life jacket on me and my family and myself. We're good. And then now let's go out and let's prosper. So again, thank you for your attention. And if you're looking for that detail, just send me an email and we'll get you some content so you can start to look at, because this is going to be a game changer in your life and your family's life. It's going to bring you a sense of freedom that you haven't imagined from your finances, because everybody's talking about just accumulate, but which is a point where I have enough. Now I can go start doing the things that I want to do. This is going to give you that framework. So, reach out to us. Love to have that conversation with you.
Thanks for listening. The first step to something better is seeing it differently. Stay sharp, stay focused, and we'll talk again soon.